Hello everyone and welcome to BrickCats. My channel is for anyone who enjoys custom LEGO creations, likes saving money, and or those looking to get into custom building. If you're a fan of my channel or are interested in supporting what I do, please consider liking this review, subscribing, or leaving a comment. Each like, subscription, and comment helps others find my channel and I greatly appreciate it. Today I am reviewing Ahsoka Tano's Fulcrum lightsabers by designer Built Bricks, distributed by BrickVault. This is one of many lightsabers by the designer, and you can pretty much build any lightsaber belonging to a significant character in Star Wars. If you're interested in building this or any other BrickVault model, you can take 15% off the cost of your order by using my discount code, CATS15. I do receive a small amount of compensation when you use my code, and this is an amazing way to support my channel while taking the bite out of the price of the instructions. Without any substitutions, in early March 2024, I was getting 3 stores and $45 without shipping and tax, or about $66 with shipping and tax. In my reviews, I offer my opinions on aesthetics and model features, parts issues you might want to look out for, the build experience, the model's integrity, and I close out with my overall impression and pricing information in the conclusion. If you're watching this review, I assume you bought the instructions or are interested in buying them. I also assume a basic level of familiarity with Brickling's ordering system and LEGO nomenclature. I only use genuine LEGO bricks and I always purchase the instructions. Finally, I create these reviews for my own personal enjoyment and in the hopes that my advice will make your experience more enjoyable and or less expensive. Ahsoka's Fulcrum sabers are built in roughly 1:1 scale as far as I can tell. The regular saber measures 12 inches long, 2 inches wide, and 1.75 inches tall, accounting for the curve of the blade. The Shoto blade measures 8.75 inches long, 2 inches wide, and 1.75 inches tall again. The curve of the hilts is achieved with clever use of the 1L bar with 1x1 round plate and the round plate 1x1 with hole to force the assemblies to stay at an angle to each other. This does necessarily result in some gaps, you can see here and here. And these are fairly noticeable from certain angles. I don't think it's actually too bad because most of the time you aren't looking at the hilts from an angle such that the gaps are very visible. So you just turn it a little bit, your eyes kind of fill in the gaps there, but you can see behind it a little bit. The profile of the saber is very nice, made up largely of the 2x4 by 1 1/3 slope sandwiched together with a simple stub reversal technique. This can result in some small gaps where the two sides meet up. You can kind of see the variation along the seam here. But this is unavoidable even with new pieces. On the normal saber here, I really like this medium nougat detailing near the emitter. Apparently both the 4x4 round plate and the 1x1 round quarter tiles come in metallic gold, so that would look really nice if you got them. Source material seems to be all over the place on the exact color scheme of the hilts, but using black for this section here does seem like a reasonable choice, with the closest alternative being dark bluish gray. These two square tiles are really great detailing here. Moving further down, the limitations of LEGO means the designer was only able to include 2 of the 3 black stripes that should be in the section, completely fine in my opinion. The pommel end of the saber includes the belt clip, and this happily does have enough clutch to be able to hold the saber. I'm not terribly confident in this, so I wouldn't try to clip it on a belt and walk around with it if you're into that, but it does hold the weight of the saber. You won't be able to see it here, but not bad there. And of course this is the larger one, so the belt clip also will hold the smaller one as well. On the flip side, I'm not an expert in lightsaber anatomy, but these black dishes represent this feature here very nicely in the absence of a 3x3 round plate from LEGO's inventory. And again, the 2 gray squares are repeated just behind what I believe this is the emitter button here, or the activation button. The Shoto hilt is a little bit plainer, but shares the diamond detailing with black this time and the basic design features. Like I said, the belt clip is a little bit more stable just because this is lighter. And then you have the activation button and the emitter again. The display stand is very simple and looks good, and it holds both sabers at a nice height off of my table here. Overall, I am very impressed with these sabers. They look great and faithfully recreate a lot of little neat details from the source material. And funny side note, now my Instagram ads are full of replica lightsabers because apparently I've been searching for Ahsoka Tano lightsabers too much in researching for this review. Ahsoka's Fulcrum lightsabers require 88 elements and 467 pieces for both blades and the stand. This model doesn't have any very rare or costly elements, and I was very pleased that the pieces are mostly in useful colors. The few elements that are hidden make up the core of the sabers for the outer layer to attach to. They're mostly specified in light bluish gray and black, so it's worth pulling from your spares if you have different colors, and you might save a little bit on Bricklink if you change the color to not applicable for the following elements. The only element that I found significant variations in price was the light bluish gray slope curved 2x4 by 1 1/3 with 4 recessed studs, part 6081. Since you need 36 of these, and just based on how the Bricklink economy works sometimes, the algorithm gives you a seller. The algorithm might give you a seller charging a lot for them. 40 cents seems to be about average in my research, so if you get a seller that's listed them for 90 cents, it's actually worth it to get these separately from a different seller if the price difference times 36 is less than the shipping cost. And that does add up pretty quick. The stand parts list comes separately, one for the main stand and one for the extension for the Shoto blade. This is honestly my least favorite part about this model, as collecting parts off a 3 wanted list is kind of tedious. For sets with 2 sabers, I think there should at least be a combined parts list for the double stand included in the file. Combining want lists in Bricklink is painful just because there's no nice merge function, so if you have duplicate parts, not only does Bricklink not tell you what the parts are, and it just gives you a useless error, you also have to figure it out for yourself how to change the quantities before you can proceed. Finally, and as usual, I used the Brick Hunter extension to check the entire parts list against the Pick-a-Brick inventory. Check out my video on Brick Hunter if you haven't already or don't know how to use it. You'll see in the conclusion how much I was able to save by ordering directly from LEGO. The saber instructions have 132 steps, with each part or subassembly added in each step outlined in red against a white background. This is just fine for visibility, and overall the instruction set is very good. The build is simple enough that builders of any level should be able to complete it without any difficulty. I only had some minor viewing angle issues, and that's mostly due to the more or less symmetrical nature of the build. For example, between step 60 and 61, you do need to flip step 60's subassembly to get it to fit correctly with the next one, and I think showing the bar connection between sections once would be helpful for newer builders. The stand instructions are also very accessible with an instruction set for the main stand and the extension. As with the parts list, I would prefer a unified instruction set for the double stand, but this is less of an issue during the build as it's pretty simple to figure out. The build took me about an hour without any pre-sorting of pieces. Both sabers are reasonably sturdy and can be handled and swooshed around, I guess if that's the right term, without too much worry of falling apart. You can grip these pretty good. The bar connections between the angled section have a decent amount of friction, and with 2 of them, the angled sections are connected pretty well. There is more flex in this direction here, you can see that, and that's just because the 2 bar connections are on the long axis, if you will. So this angle can get warped a little bit, but it's pretty easy to fix. And I mentioned earlier that the belt clips are functional, a little bit tenuous, so I wouldn't try and hang them from a belt loop while walking around. Everything else on the sabers is reasonably solid, and I'm not worried about them. Camera shaking, but yeah, you can basically do whatever you need to do, at least reasonable things, these, and they're going to be okay. The biggest durability issue I've had actually comes from the stand. These slopes make mounting and displaying the sabers a bit challenging. You've probably seen this a couple times already, but basically there's a lot of, there's no resistance to rotation essentially, just because these slopes are curved. And so occasionally you'll put this on and it'll just flop over like that. Doesn't really fall off, but you do want it to be kind of sitting nicely straight on the stand, and it's kind of hard to do with those slopes there. I did experiment a bit with different elements to try and make it more stable. The 1x2 panels seem to be the best compromise between appearance and sturdiness. In conclusion, I really like these lightsabers by Built Bricks. They look great, there's fun building techniques, they look nice on the shelf, and the designer has clearly put a lot of thought and care into the element choices and details. Since it's a smaller model, it's a quick build, and it isn't going to be too hard on your wallet either. Without any substitutions, in early March 2024, I got 3 stores and $45 without shipping and tax, or about $66 with shipping and tax. With the substitutions, I got 3 stores and $42 without shipping and tax, or about $63 with shipping and tax. And finally, using Brick Hunter to buy as many elements from Pick-a-Brick, I was able to get all but 2 from LEGO. My Pick-a-Brick total was $52, and I did have to pad my standard elements order to get to the $14 minimum to save the $7 handling fee. I think it was just under $10 without any padding for the standard pieces. The 2 elements from Bricklink, the minifigure hoops and the medium nougat 4x4 round plate, I got from one store for 37 cents without shipping and tax, and that's going to be about $6 with shipping and tax, for a grand total of $58. Instructions for Ahsoka's Fulcrum Sabers cost $5.99 and are available from Brick Vault's web store, and I think this is a very reasonable price. There will be a link to where you can buy those in the description below, and remember you can use the discount code CATS15 for 15% off if you haven't already used it. Brick Vault also has frequent sales, and the discount code does stack with whatever sale happens to be running at the moment. Thanks as always for watching my review of Ahsoka Tano's Fulcrum Lightsabers by Built Bricks. If you built the model, have something to share that I left out, or have a question about something I didn't cover, please leave your thoughts below in the comments. Remember to leave the video a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram if you haven't already. Each like, subscription, and comment helps increase the channel's visibility, and I greatly appreciate your support. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you back next time.